lot of us are told some weird or not true information about manifesting, about creation, and they are setting us up for a disaster. And I have struggled with it for 2 years before I really started to get it. How many times we have been told that negative thoughts and negative feelings are so wrong. We shouldn't have negative feelings. We shouldn't feel negative. We should just feel so positive. And what I've started to feel is that this is almost like a toxic positivity, that we just have to feel positive, be positive. Let me give you guys an example. I feel that you can relate with it. Let's say you have a thought, right? You've just thought a thought that I am so abundant, or I have manifested my dream business, or I've manifested my dream career, right? And then all of a sudden, feeling there is this thing that comes, that almost like something that is gauging, or that is evaluating that thought, right? That says, no, you haven't. Or that says, it's not possible for you. Don't even try. Or that thing, oh, who do you think you are? Okay. And then as a result, you start to feel sad. You start to feel a little bit disappointed, right? And then we start to beat ourselves up for feeling negative. And what we do is, which I see over and over again, and I did for such a long time, we switch off. We say, let me just switch this thought. Let me just switch this idea, that's feeling, and let me think positive, and let me start to have this positive feeling, and let me numb my feeling, and let me just think about something else, or I can't think that way, right? But that thing that just happened, right, had a lot of awareness, and that was a gift. Now let me break it down again and tell you what I mean. When you had a thought that you can manifest your dream business, your dream career, the money, the partner, the relationship, whatever that is, okay? And all of a sudden something came in and said, no, you can't. Or something came in and said, you're not good enough. Or something came in and said, it's not possible. Or something came in and said, but how are you going to do it? Or something came in and said, look at your current situation. That thing is your self-concept. That thing is how you see yourself. Because if we just manifest what we think, then the moment you think that you have your dream business, or you are a multimillionaire, or if we just think and manifest what we think, then we all can be multi-billionaires, because we can think to be a multi-billionaire. But the problem is not the thought. The problem is that thing that comes after the thought. The problem is that there is almost like a scale which is evaluating that thought, that is it reasonable. Let's say you tell yourself, I am a fairy, or I am a superhero, and you know that that's not true, right? You know you are a human. That knowing, that concept of yourself, that identity, that is the truth. Because that is the truth for us. That is what we believe to be true. That is what we are conscious of our being. It's not the thought that's manifest. It's our conscious of our being, our consciousness. And the consciousness, the best way to understand the consciousness is that put yourself through that thoughts. Let's say you're saying, I am a millionaire. And the moment you say it, if our conscious awareness is saying, no, you're not, it's not possible, all these things, that is the concept that we are manifesting. Because anytime when we think that thought, it is reevaluated through that scale, through that self-concept, through that program. And if we just ignore the program, and of course that results in feeling whatever we feel, but if we ignore that thing and switch that feeling and numb that feeling, or switch the thought, what we have just done is we haven't changed anything. We have just numbed the whole thing. We've just numbed the whole awareness. The awareness is that when I think that thought, I am told it's not true. Now it's time to rewire the belief that it's not true. It is about rewiring and questioning the belief. The best way to break a belief is to question it. The best way to break a program is to question it. That's why in religion, we are not allowed to question, because they know that if we question, we are already doubting. So when you start doubting something, the belief is already gone. It's not there. The best way is not to numb and think about something else and just distract yourself and just think positive and feel positive, because we are so good at numbing our feelings. We are so good at ignoring how we are feeling. We are so good at not listening to ourselves. But if it's just about numbing the feeling, that we can always numb our feelings and manifest the greatest things. But the thing that we manifest is the response to our thoughts which result in the feeling. When you think that thought, there is a response to it, and when you hear that response, it makes you feel a certain way. Let's say you say to yourself, I'm so beautiful, and the response says, no, you're not. So all of a sudden there's this thinking, no, you're not. You need to lose this weight. You need to, let's say you have this and you have this. So that thing is actually the thing that we're manifesting, because that is our rewiring. That is our self-concept, which will in turn determine our feeling. But just by changing our feeling, we're not changing the rewiring. We're not changing the concept of ourself. So we don't manifest our thoughts. We don't manifest the feeling that we sometimes can numb and just forget about it and ignore it. We manifest the concept that we hold ourselves about ourselves, because that evaluates the thought that we think all day long, right? So if you think a thought which is not approved by that self-concept, it will be rejected, which might make you feel upset or disappointed. It's not about numbing that disappointment and not thinking about it. It's about questioning that concept of you. If that's saying you cannot be abundant, then it's questioning, according to who? Why do I feel this way? Where is it coming from? Is it really the ultimate truth? It's about questioning our self-concept and the beliefs that formulate our self-concept, so that when we think that thought, it goes through the system of our body without having that bling bling sound that this is a lie from the lie detector, right? So it's almost like a lie detector in our body, right? If you say to yourself, I am a millionaire, and the lie detector said, no, you're not. Don't even think about it. That's a lie detector. But if the lie detector is already fused with the belief, if you have fused with the belief, if there is no question around that, then it will just go and you'll feel it and you will get in that frequency. But if there is that thing, then we cannot go on that frequency, because it's constantly not letting us cross that part, right? Just by numbing our feelings or switching off our thoughts, it's not solving the problem. In fact, we're just ignoring what needs to be dealt. And a lot of times we don't want to face it, because it's hard to face it. It's hard to say, let me see how I really see myself, right? We try to just numb things. And that also comes from our childhood, because when we were upset or when we sad or when we felt not good enough, we were just told to just be and just ignore it and just numb it down. Numbing, changing our thoughts, switching, that's not going to help. The thing that's going to help is, why do I feel this way? Where is it coming from? According to who? Is it really true? These kind of questions, questioning your self-concept. We always manifest what we are conscious of being. And how can we test what we are conscious of being? By putting that thought and seeing what answer comes up, what the lie detector is saying, and then questioning the detector itself. But switching off, just ignoring, not taking into account is not going to help. It's just numbing our pain, numbing our beliefs. I genuinely believe that our negative feelings and our negative thoughts are our superpower, because they're telling us what needs addressing. If we don't have this awareness, we can't address anything. It is really, really important to be aware of them, to embrace them, to be happy that we became aware of a negative thought, because if we didn't, we wouldn't know what to address. It's time for more of self-awareness rather than numbing the self-awareness.